I'm excited to bring you a brand new show that focuses on visionaries, skywalkers, self-starters. They join us on the show and they share itty-bitty nyanas on their journeys. This is The Take On. My name is MBO MAHOCS. Welcome. Now, he is an award-winning Zim hip-hop artist, performing back-to-back and currently the big thing in the country. He goes by the name of ASAPH. Kuluma ngubani, I am talking about Tafazwa, TRK1. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I just introduced you, and currently you are the leading artist in the country. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good, but I still realize that there's lots of work that still needs to be done.
Oh, yes.
Because no matter how you elevate, your vision is still supposed to be bigger than big. So reach for the stars so that if you fail, you land in a cloud, that type of thing.
Wow, so profound. So let's take it back. Let's unpack it from day one. I mean, your background. Tell us about your background.
Well, growing up, my family is very small. My immediate family is very small. It's just me, my dad, my mom, and my little sister. So when we were still young, my parents were in the choir at church. They used to play Ron Kinoli, Kirk Franklin music, gospel music in the household. I think that's where we got our music, our knack for music from. So I mean that's just how it was. Nice family, going to church every Sunday, going to school every day, behaving myself as best I can, that type of thing.
And from what you're telling me now, that your parents have a spiritual background. So let's talk about the stereotype that surrounds that, being a pastor's child. How do you take that? That maybe you need to behave in a certain way, society expects you to behave in a certain way.
Well, because you know how they say apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
But human beings are not apples.
Exactly.
A parent can be one way and then have a son or have a daughter who maybe dreams of something else, who wants to be something else.
Yeah.
I'm sure even a parent who started a company and they are lawyers, and then the child wants to be a nurse. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure there's even like, why do you want to be a nurse? But when it comes to now pastors and just whole religion, because Christians and Christianity have kind of pushed themselves up to this level of perfection. So now, because I'm sure pastors' kids are just as much as any other child, but because you are held up to this, or you're always being compared to your parents, you look really bad. You see what I'm saying? If you were to have a white sheet of paper and just draw a little black dot in the middle and ask someone, what do you see? They'll say they see a black dot, even though there's a whole area that is just white. But just because you're being held up and being compared to someone who people feel is perfect.
And then when did you discover this passion? Okay, fine, you come from a musical background, but then within your core, when did you find the spark?
Well, that's the funny thing, because we had the music background, but I didn't yet have my corner in it. Because my little sister could sing really well, and I just had those stock voices that everyone uses when we're singing the national anthem.
And look where we are today. One of your tracks has been sitting and not moving from the top spot on the music charts. How does that make you feel? And tell us about the whole making and the concept behind, especially it is mumble. So let's talk about that in depth.
Okay, this is the interesting thing. People, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, but people would always act like, would hear that song and say, how come you weren't making music like this?
Yes.
You see what I mean? But I feel like it's a journey. If I dropped Mambo as my first song ever, it might not have done what it's doing now. You see what I'm saying? First I had to drop Sandra Goina, then I had to drop Obvious, then I had to drop No Stress, Hate to Say, all of these songs we're just building a pyramid or some type of tower.
So then
to shine from the top. So whatever I do next will be built or will stand on top of the success of Maho.
Yeah. This guy is so profound. I feel like, there's not so many young people that are visionaries. I mean, you know what you do. Like the way you're just describing about how you structure your music, how you planned on releasing certain... How important is that in just having a structure as an artist?
The crazy thing was, I'm only starting to realize now that there's actually a structure and a method to it. Yeah. Because I just place a structure according to what I'm feeling and according to how I see the industry shaping and moving towards. Obviously, I do have my personal plan, and it changes here and there depending on what's going on, because we know I'm in Zimbabwe.
Oh, yeah? You just mentioned like a very interesting point. Do you think that Zim hip-hop is amplified enough in the country?
Well, I think for us as our country, many things are still coming, are still growing.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Yes. Many things are still growing. Our music industry in general is still growing. I know that there was a time when Sungura was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
There's a time when dancehall was the biggest thing. So I know that it's going to come full circle for us, where now hip-hop is at the forefront.
Yeah.
So it's just about like us staying vigilant, continuing to do what we are doing until that time when it's now our turn. Because the season will come and find whoever is working.
All right.
That's basically what it is.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's talk about the financial sustainability of it all. With the way you're breaking it down, you sound like there's a business sense to it. So how do you keep relevant, and how do you encourage the next person that you can make a living out of your craft?
Well, right now it's not really making a living out of the craft. Yeah. Depending on which level you're starting from. For me, I know it's about a business, but for me it's actually more about just impacting and changing the situation. Because I know we'll reap better afterwards once the situation is better.
Do you know what I like as we're having a conversation? The fact that when you start talking about something that you're passionate, you move from your seat and you just move forward just to, but that's besides the point. Interesting conversation. You heard it from yourself. It's all about making an impact, of course, to the youth. We'll be talking about more and getting to know ASAPH a little bit more. Join us in an Itzi Vitinyana. Welcome back to the show. This is The Take On, and of course we are in the studio with ASAPH. ASAPH.
Yeah.
Tell me about where the inspiration of that name came from.
Okay, well, simply like this. Before I changed my name to ASAPH, I was called Quanfire.
Quanfire, yes, I remember.
So then I think I got to a point where I was like, okay, this sounds like a dancehall name. And also for girls to say Quanfire was sounding like it was something weird. Yeah, so I needed something a bit more polished, right? So what happened was I was studying this book, an index on Hebrew names. This was in 2011, and I was in Swaziland at Bible school. So I'm someone who just likes to read up on a lot of things. So I was going through this book, and it was giving me all these names, these Hebrew names and what they meant. So I came across the name ASAPH. So then when I saw like what it meant, I saw who he was. I really fell in love with the whole concept of the name of ASAPH. Plus, it sounds really nice.
Oh yeah, it does.
It sounds really polished. ASAPH.
And I mean, do you mind if you just unpack for us
what it means?
Yes.
Okay. Well, ASAPH means Jehovah is gathered. Yeah. So at that time, and up to now, I still feel like I was someone who was called to gather up the youth for us to be able to do amazing things. So I'm not really yet sure on what exactly the specific mission is, but I feel like I'm just called to gather everyone, whether it's from Bulawayo, from Harare, the whole nation of Zimbabwe, to say, you know what, because I also have this passion for, as Zim youths, we need to rise up and say, you know what, we are proud of being from Zimbabwe. Yes. We are proud of who we are. This is who we are. We don't need to feel like we need to change to become Nigerian or South African or anything. You see what I feel like that we don't really have Zim youth representation of what it is to be a cool Zimbabwean youth.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's something strong in my heart. So that was attached to the name.
Still talking about the things that you're passionate about. Give me 5 things that mean a lot to you.
Mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Though the top thing will have to be music, because if it wasn't for music, I don't think I'd be sitting here talking to you. You feel me?
Yeah.
Music. Even
you feel me?
even in high school, I knew that I wanted to do something along the lines of music. I was that type of person who's writing rhymes instead of taking down notes. You see what I'm saying? I was that type of person because I knew music is what I love, not just as an artist, but as a musician as well. I mean, as a fan of music. I can sit at home and listen to music the whole day, go through all the emotions, cry, dance by myself in my room. That's just me. How I love music. So music is really important to me. The second thing I'd have to say is love, because I feel the world, our country right now just needs a lot more love, and everything will be fine. If love is one of those things that is so difficult to understand, because forgiveness comes from love, kindness comes from love. Even discipline comes from love. If you think about it, you see what I'm saying? So I think love is just a strong thing that everyone needs to take serious.
We're still counting.
We're still counting. The third thing that is important to me is my cell phone. I won't lie. My cell phone is very important. Can't live without. Very important to me, because I know maybe I'm supposed to be professional and get my beats via email, but sometimes I get them WhatsApp to me. You see what I'm saying? Way, sometimes I do most of my work, the business aspect of this music grind,
over your phone.
Over my phone. Because we even send emails over phone. You see, when I need to talk to someone, I need this done, or I need to send the DJ the set for this evening. I'm going to use WhatsApp. You see what I'm saying? So my phone is very important. So that's another thing that's important to me. That's 3 things, right?
Yes, that's 3 things.
The 4th thing that is important to me, everyone who supports me. Every last person who supports me.
How important is that, I mean, as an artist, to have that backbone of support that encourages you into what you do?
Okay, because I believe, it's good to know for yourself that you are good, but it mustn't be in your head. You need the people around you to say, no, you're doing good, or no, you need to do like this. Change that, change this. That's what I appreciate about people who support you. You have to. Especially if you see, there's this thing where they say, when you're eating chicken, you swallow the meat and you spit out the bones. So whatever you feel, this doesn't feel like it applies to me, spit that out. But whatever you feel like, okay, this works.
This guy is deep.
Then this makes sense. That's just how it is. So then the last thing.
And choose important. Carefully.
Yeah, this is quite important. Because I think because lots of people are waiting. Is he going to say my name? The last thing that is important is my peace of mind.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
My peace of mind is important. Like, protect your peace at all costs. If you feel like this thing or this person, this situation is taking you out of your peace, now you can't focus on what you want to do. You can't focus on your goals. You can't focus on what you've been planning, your world domination. You see what I'm saying?
Does it get so crazy that it cringes you into a corner and you almost lose yourself? Do you feel that
it does
sometimes?
It does, because especially because in music, in whatever industry or you're working, you deal with people, and people are different. People can rub you the wrong way. People can put you in situations the wrong way. And someone, I think I saw it on a WhatsApp status or something, say we need to teach people how to treat us. You see what I'm saying? However someone treats you, especially if you just let them continue, you kind of allow that. So we need to get to a point where you're able to say, you know what, I don't like this. I don't like this. I like this. You see, and once we all understand that, everyone's peace is protected, and then we can all just be happy and flow with life.
And we can all just be happy and flow with the take on with ASAPH. So how's that the attention? With your career.
Well, in a way, I kind of always had that attention since high school. I think.
Ladies' man.
Well, there was just a myth around it. They say, ASAPH ladies' man, that type of thing. I don't know why certain situations just happen the way they do. A funny story, if we have time for it.
Yeah, we do.
There was the Zim Hip Hop launch party in Skies. So they had it at Cosmo. So then I think, and I was literally just inviting people. Oh, come through. And it so happened that the people who said, okay, they'll come, were all girls. So by the time we got to the venue, I think I walked in with like 13 girls or something. So now everyone in there was like, so ASAPH is the one to talk to if you want girls. I'm like, no, guys, no, I'm not the organizer of Stogo. No.
It's her organizer of Stogo.
I'm not.
And then groupies, I mean, sometimes, you find that there's people that just appreciate you, but then you're not so close to them, and then they start being expectant or expecting things from you. How do you handle all of that?
Well, I try, especially because now I'm that type of person who feels like, because I'm still where I'm at, I'm not yet driving in a Benz, I'm not yet in a mansion.
Is that what defines?
I feel for me, when I'm interacting with someone who considers themselves my fan, I still feel I need to, oh no, yes, I'm here for you. You see what I'm saying? Yes. I think before we can, because of the situation we're in right now, we kind of have to come across as those neighborhood heroes. Yeah. Because even though people, they will feel like, oh, we are celebrities doing whatever, they still feel like because we're in the city, they can become us. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. So when they meet you and then you speak with them and they're like...
But then where do you draw the line now? Because sometimes you meet somebody that genuinely appreciates you, and maybe they want a piece of you, like, can you please give me your number? And then they start bothering you. And so where do you draw the line?
I think that's also now depends on actual discretion. Where you can say, this vibe is awkward. You see what I'm saying? Or you give someone your Facebook. You see what I'm saying? Give someone your Instagram. Give someone your Twitter. But then, because as it moves, I won't lie. I'm that type of person. I really give out my number a lot. And I know, and sometimes you might not be able to help everybody all of the time. Because someone say, oh, I need help with the song. I need help with that. But to the best of my ability, that's what I'll do for now where I'm at. Obviously, when we're now in limos and too famous for nothing, maybe it will be difficult to really just engage with everyone.
Okay. So tell us, what in your terms defines arriving?
Like arriving.
Having to make it.
Man, I think now that depends on you and your personal goals. Because I don't think there's a universal standard to say, okay, when someone reaches this, he's arrived. Because some different people place their value on different things. Like for me, if I'm saying I am passionate about youth, I could have all this money, all the cars, all the what, but if I'm not doing anything that I say is my passion, is inputting into the youth, I haven't arrived anywhere. I'm still like on level 0. You see what I'm saying? It goes along like when you're doing what you said you're going to do. That's what I think it is. For me right now, I don't feel like I've arrived yet. Yet people, you'll be in town or meeting people who think, man, I saw you in the paper. Yeah, you must be. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, I saw you on...
But doesn't that make you feel that you were doing something when somebody walks up to you and tells you that they appreciate you?
It does. Okay, for me, it comes in 2 ways. It does, but then when someone is congratulating me like that and I still see how far I have to go, how far is left. You see what I'm saying? It kind of puts me in a confusion, like, man, there's still a lot more to go. There's still a lot more work to be done. So I think for me, that's why I get caught in that awkward position where I'm like, should I be celebrating? Or is it time to work harder? Or is it, what season is this? You see what I'm saying? Because...
but there's no room to be comfortable.
There's no room to be comfortable. None at all. So that's what I think about arriving.
You know, in our conversation, I pick that you have a very sound mind.
I try.
You know, it's like
when
sometimes, there's things that you break down into like a lot of depth. Like just now, I asked you how you define arriving, and then you broke it down into 2 things. Like you kind of have a depth of an explanation to everything. Is there anything else within your core besides music that you think you can extend to, like maybe writing a book or any other interest?
Like that. I went to in 2011. I went to Swaziland a Bible school type of setup. So when we were there, they taught us a variety of things. You see what I'm saying? And my dad, since I was a youngster, just always saying, you know, you're destined for great things. God wants to use you. You're destined for it. So those things get burnt into your mind, burnt into your heart. You see what I'm saying? So I just always grew up believing that, you know what, I'm meant for something greater. Yeah. For something that is just...
My heart is burning right now.
Right. So I think just because of that, of how I was raised and how everything around me happens, I'm forced to kind of say, you know what, I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm trying to see, okay, when I leave this earth, what are they going to remember me by? You see what I'm saying? Would it just be music, money in the vault, or would there be a big youth development center where artists are coming, young artists from the city are coming, finding guidance? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is there something that already that you, because I said in the show, we talk to visionaries. Is there already like a vision, or do you feel that it's something that you allow as you grow in your career?
Yeah, I think it's something that you grow into. Yeah. There was a concept I had called Berg Boys that I wanted to try and introduce. But the thing was, at that time, I was still trying to solidify myself as ASAPH. So I really got to that point to say, you know what, I have to... Some people argue with this, but I had to establish myself first before I felt like I could help other people. Yes. You see what I'm saying? So, and I will start small and just grow and see where it goes, because I just know I want to work with the youth. Yes. Now maybe it could be creating a space for them to come and just perform, maybe helping our artists get on. You see what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. But in 2 or 3 years, who knows if I could have a home for underprivileged kids.
Let's talk about where we're going. Let's talk about the future.
For me, the future, Mambo is doing well.
Mambo is doing well.
So I've just decided to do a whole album around that concept, because I feel like it's the way people responded to that song. I feel there's still a lot more we can unpack from that type of idea. So I'm working on a Mambo album, which will probably come out 2019. So people have to wait a bit.
How long did it take you to work on the Mambo album? Is it something that you worked on a long time ago, and then
the track didn't take much time.
It didn't take much time. But then does it sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes it does.
Where you go in hard and you just cook something and then you put it aside, and then later you go back to it and redo it.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes, like my previous album, 25, the album I released in 2017, it took me a week to do it. I wrote it and recorded it, finished it in a week, writing in studio. Then you record 2 songs a day.
So there's no formula.
2 songs a day. I don't think there's a formula. Yeah. It all goes with what is in your heart.
Yes,
what needs to be birthed, what needs to come out. The process will dictate itself.
And then, it's so amazing. I think I could spend like the whole day just listening to you speak. And I'm glad that you're passionate about the youth, and you also want to give a piece of yourself. I think that is the greatest gift that you can leave on this. I'm not saying that you're leaving, but it's keep being great and doing what you do. Any last words for somebody out there that also maybe wants to be a hip-hop king? What encouragement can you give them?
Hard work pays off. Yeah. That's all I'll say. Hard work pays off. Don't expect anyone to do anything for you. Yes. Just do it yourself, and hard work will pay off.
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth that hard work pays off. It's been an absolute pleasure. I adore you.
I adore you too.
You have
so
no
pretty.
idea.
It's so
There's a day, I think, just shortly after Mambo was doing the rounds and it was crazy, and I saw it on my Facebook, and I think I commented on a link and I said, "You're one person that has a sound mind." And that is what will carry you into greatness, because you stand out on your own. You're your own person, your own unique fingerprint.
Thank you.
And so, like right now, like I wish you everything, like all the things you've never even imagined.
Thank you. I receive.
Yeah.
My sister.
Oh, receive it. And this sign, is it like a Mambo sign?
No.
Okay, it's just power.
Power to the people.
You heard it from the man himself. I'm sure you were fed with wisdom, such rich profound words coming from ASAPH. Do join us. This is the Take On, where we get to meet and find out the journeys of visionaries, skywalkers, like just the amazing gentlemen that we had in studio today. And I cannot wait for our next segment. Details of our show are on the screen. Stalk us on Facebook, Twitter, and of course Instagram. This is the Take On, and today we were joined by ASAPH. Do you want to close the show?
Yeah. See you next time.
Aware.